Okay, now that we've captured the handshake, all we need to do to crack the WPA key is to create a word list. A word list is just a list of words that aircrack NG is going to go through and try each one of these words against the handshake until it successfully determines the WPA key. So the better your word list is, the more your chances are of cracking the WPA key. If the password wasn't there in your word list file, you will not be able to determine the WPA key. Now I've attached a list of ready word lists that you can just download and use, or you can create your own word list using this video tutorial. We're going to use a tool called Crunch. It's basically just a script that you specify the characters that you want in the passwords, and it'll create all possible combinations of these passwords. So the format of the command of using Crunch is crunch minimum maximum. The minimum is the minimum number of characters of the password that you want to create. So you can say I want a minimum of 4, 5, 6, whatever you want. Maximum is the maximum number of characters in the passwords. Characters, you're going to specify the characters that are going to be used to create the passwords. So you can specify A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the lower letters, and then you can write the capital letters. You can put numbers, you can put symbols. So here you'll specify the characters that you want. And then T is very useful if you know part of the password. It's a pattern. So for example, if you're trying to guess a password and you've seen someone type in this password, so you know, for example, it starts with an A and ends with a B. So you can use the pattern option and tell Crunch to create passwords that always start with A and end with B, and it'll put all possible combinations of the characters that you put in here. So for example, in this example, we have Crunch. We're going to create passwords of minimum of 6 characters and maximum of 8 characters. And the passwords are going to be combinations of the characters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these symbols is going to be stored in a file called Wordlist. And the pattern is this password or that are going to be created, they're always going to start with an A and they're always going to end with B. So all the passwords that you're going to see in the file are going to always start with A and end with B, and they'll have all the possible combinations of the characters you specified here between the A and the B. So let's just run it here and create a sample word list. I'm going to say crunch. And then we're gonna make a minimum of 6 and maximum of 6, or let's say minimum of 4, maximum of 6. And just so that it doesn't take a long time, I'm gonna make it short. I'm gonna put the characters. So I'm gonna just put 1, 2, 3 AB. I'm gonna store this in sample word list. So Crunch is going to create a combination of passwords, minimum of 4 characters, maximum of 6 characters, and it's going to create all possible combinations of 1, 2, 3, AB, and it's going to store all that in a file called sample word list. Now we can read this file. We can just say cat sample word list, and we can see all the passwords that are stored in this file now. So that's all the passwords that Crunch created for us. So you can see it was 19,375 combinations possible from only 1, 2, 3 AB. Obviously, the bigger the password that you put, the more characters you put, the more passwords that you can make, and the more space they're gonna take. So let's just have a look on the pattern option. So we'll go crunch, let's say a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 5. So all passwords, I want them to be 5 character long. And then I'll put the characters, which are 1, 2, 3, AB, like before. And then I'm going to add the T option, which is the pattern. And I'm going to say I want a password start with an A and end with a B. And I want all possible combinations of my characters between the A and the B. And then we're going to specify the output file, and let's call it pattern Wordlist. And you can see here it's going to create 125 passwords. And let's have a look on them. And as you can see here, it's always starting with an A and always ending with a B. So you can use Crunch now to create your word list. And in the next video, we're going to use the word list and the handshake file to determine the actual WPA key.